Okay, so I'm going to do a video that I haven't done before, and this is going to cover the basics of cruze tune. I'm going to call this stage 1. Um, this will be for if you have a stock intake, although not necessary. If you have a cold air intake, that's fine. But stock turbo for sure. If you have an aftermarket one already, then these values might not work for you. But right now, let's pull the tune up here, and I will show you some of the modifications you can make to the tune for generally stock hardware on the engine. So we'll start here. Nothing you need to do in idle unless you want to raise the idle for some reason. We're going to start out. You can obviously the airflow is changed. I forgot how I changed it originally, but it was changed. You could do that once you have your wideband, and you can tune your airflow. Pretty much under airflow, we're not going to change anything unless you're at that point. But this is the base stuff you change, so you don't want to worry about airflow just yet. Dynamic airflow, you can lower that right off to these values here, 4,000 and 3,900 respectively, to get it so that it goes into dynamic airflow sooner, which means it's going to use the mass airflow sensor sooner rather than later. And these are just the coefficients from the virtual volumetric efficiency table. And this is the throttle control. Nothing needs to be changed in these. On the base, you can change the exhaust cam position on the variable valve timing. These were lowered right here, across here. These were lowered to 1 cam degrees, and I believe these may have been changed. Let's see the differences. Okay, yeah, so from 3,400 RPMs all the way to redline, it was lowered to 1 cam degree. Okay, that's first. Nothing needs to be changed here in pressure control yet. These values are what you're going to want to change. The stock value on this is like 16 psi on the part open allowed boost. Your maximum duty cycle you'll change to 99%. Your overspeed limit, you can actually, I would say you could probably raise this to 0.90 without an issue. Your maximum pressure ratio 6.50, and then your overspeed max pressure ratio against mass airflow sensor, you can change it to these values here. And then your cylinder volumetric efficiency. Now, this is important to change, your duty cycle of your wastegate. These values here, what are really good. As a matter of fact, you can boost these 100 and 105s. You can boost this row here up to 125, and this row here to 125. But don't get too carried away with the rest of this. This is a pretty safe chart here, table. And then under fuel, there's really nothing to change except temperature control and component protection. So you can change your catalyst over temp protection to 2% and your turbocharger to 2%. These are set at like 40% or 1.42, and then change these values because this will limit your torque output if you don't change those. Okay, so you'll want to change the fuel cutoff settings. This will limit RPMs. So you'll raise that to 7200, and then the in gear is displayed here. You'll change those, and then your extreme resume, you'll change that. The cold engine modifier just changes it so that way above 140 degrees you get your full 7200 rev limiter. You can have your transition in the middle here. I do believe the stock number is up here at 6500 RPMs. Acceleration threshold versus the RPM. This will limit your acceleration rates and whatnot. So you'll want to change this table. Kind of important to change that. And then torque limits. Okay, so we'll go through that. Obviously you'll have to pause this video to reference most of these numbers, but they're pretty easy table. Alright, spark. I'm not sure the reasoning behind modifying this particular table. I guess this is based on PE and COT. So this will be like a spark table. It'll modify the amount of timing based on this. In your high octane table, you can believe you have to lower it. Okay, yep, you have to lower it down in the corner to make it a little more safe. So over in the corner, looks like you could do that. You could do the timing tune based on Goat Rope's garage video. He'll explain timing tuning. These are basic changes for tuning. Timing is, most will get timing. So the recovery rate, you'll want to change that. I believe the values were increased just slightly. I would probably say it's probably a multiplier of 15%. To do that, you would just, go 1.15 and then select the whole table and then hit multiply, and it'll raise the values of the whole table. So this table is zeroed out. You want to zero that table out. And then this multiplier was zeroed out. And then that's the burst. And then this table was zeroed out. And then the enable was changed to 0.700 grams. That's air mass. And then this table was zeroed out. So you zero that table out. And then that's it on spark. Torque management. Here's where you're going to make some changes. You're going to raise this table up a significant amount. So just raise that up. Raise this table up somewhat of a significant amount. And then tip in, you'll turn that off. Just zero it out. And then change the max torque on the TCS method, so that way it doesn't you'll start exceeding that, and then your traction control system will start going crazy because the stock value is pretty low. Driver demand, you'll modify, the last two rows, and raise those slightly. Could be the last three. I mean, if you want to get kind of a little bit heavy on the last three, just raise them up a little bit. Probably, I'd say you could take the last three and multiply by 10%, and then take the last two and then multiply by 15%. Okay, boost control. You'll want to modify the boost limit. You can set it to 34-ish. That'll bring you up to about 20 psi. Don't really want to go too far over that, and there's no reason to. And you'll want to set the pressure delta to 2. And then the knock air mass and the knock failure rate, you'll set that to 120, or 1.20 rather. And then I was a little risky with mine. I set mine at 1.10. This will make sure that there's no limits on the turbo as long as no knock is detected. You can do this safely. As the first 2 rows I modified to 0.90 and 0.80, which is going to allow knock up to that much. I figured 1 to 3 degrees was not bad. As it starts going over that, it'll just start limiting the turbo. Besides, you should be running premium anyway. Rarely do I see that much knock. 1 or 2 degrees, I don't worry about that, because stock engine will run 1 or 2 degrees every now and then on a base acceleration, so I don't worry about that. Not worried about 1 or 2 degrees. It's not gonna bother me any. If it bothers you, don't change the table. You know, change just the 0 degrees of knock. And then, well, it's not a supercharger, so we don't need to go into that menu. And that's pretty much it for the base tuning of a Chevy Cruze. I just wanted to make this pretty quick. I know I kind of went over it really fast. I did an original take, and it ended up being 45 minutes, and I figured I'd make it a lot shorter, and then also a little bit more direct on the things you need to do. Besides, I had some things that I had in here from a tune that I'm using with more modified stuff, and this is just the base stuff to get you going. Get you going a little quicker, get your acceleration rates up. Oh yeah, I almost forgot power enrichment. You can change the ramping rate to 0.2 thousand. You can change the EQ ratio. I believe you raise it just slightly. Let's see. Yeah, you just raise it slightly. Now this is a percentage, real easy to calculate based off your if you go under fuel in general, you'll see your Stoich. You just divide it and you'll get the ratio you want. You divide that number by the number in the power table, and then you'll get it. The explanation's at the bottom too. If you hover over, you want to make sure you watch your notes down here at the bottom. So you'll want to watch your notes. And then your delay and pedal enable, you can lower that down up here at the top end to 60% of the accelerator pedal. So hopefully I covered everything. Yeah, I think I covered everything, and I did a lot faster too. Those are the basics. I'm going to try to do more of these tuning series videos. I know I've done videos, and sometimes I do videos and I don't really explain what's going on. I'm sorry about that. It's kind of you know, when you make a video, it's kind of tough to go over every detail. But that's the basics for a Cruze. You can get more in depth in tuning a generation 4 or 5, whichever one this computer falls in, on other channels that go in depth, like Goat Rope Garage. He covers a lot of airflow and speed density, which you'll have to get into once you start modifying, changing out fuel injectors, intakes, larger turbos, and stuff like that. I'm actually in the process right now of doing my speed density tune for the first time in depth. I've in the past cheated and just added a percentage to the whole table, and then that covered it, made it safe, but it was running rich at certain spots. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fine tune the table all the way out properly. It's probably gonna take me the next 2 weeks. I think maybe less if I log every day and make minor adjustments every day, but it's probably going to take a while to tune, as speed density is a very in-depth tuning. Your mass airflow sensor, you can do that one in about 2 hours. You're done. Maybe even an hour. You probably do it in an hour. You only need to log for 15-20 minutes, and then your airflow is dialed in on your mass airflow sensor. I'm sure most of you already know that, but this was just to cover a few of the things that you on the cruze specifically that you want to change to get your acceleration rates going. So that'll wrap it up.